Solomon, a name that resonates in Israel's history as the wisest monarch to rule the nation. His remarkable wisdom and memorable achievements stand out. Solomon, responsible for building the first temple in Jerusalem, left a legacy that endures and influences the understanding of Israel's history to this day. However, there is an intriguing element in his trajectory that adds layers of complexity to his figure. In his old age, Solomon took an unexpected turn, abandoning faith in the one true God who had guided him for so long and began to worship other gods. This leads us to a fascinating question. Did he depart this world in idolatry, or, in his last days, did he find redemption and return to the faith that had characterized him for much of his life? Solomon's coronation was not only an event to mark the continuation of David's dynasty on the throne of Israel, but also the beginning of an era full of wisdom, victories, and expansion of the kingdom. His name Jedediah, which means beloved by the Lord, was given to him by the prophet Nathan, indicating a divine blessing that accompanied him throughout his life. Solomon's childhood and youth remain obscure, as the Bible offers no detailed record. However, it is believed that he was around 18 when he took the throne. His reign lasted 40 years, during which he demonstrated remarkable skills in expanding his kingdom, organizing his court, and building infrastructure such as roads and fortresses to protect trade routes. Solomon was a skilled diplomat, and his strategic alliances through marriages consolidated his position on the international stage and avoided unnecessary conflicts. However, his most grandiose and remarkable construction was the majestic Temple of Jerusalem, a masterpiece that took 7 years to complete. In addition, he erected an imposing throne, a splendid residence for Pharaoh's daughter, and his own majestic villa, which stood out as a symbol of his power and wealth. Despite his extraordinary wisdom, Solomon made mistakes that cannot be ignored. He imposed a heavy workload and high taxes on his people, which led to discontent. However, his most notorious mistake was polygamy. With 700 wives and 300 concubines, many of whom worshipped other gods, Solomon ended up giving in to the influence of his wives and embracing a mixed cult, turning away from the God of Israel in his old age. The book of 1 Kings 11:4 reveals that, in Solomon's old age, his heart turned to other gods, casting doubt on his faithfulness to the Lord. The debate persists as to whether he repented of his mistakes or remained in idolatry to the end, for only God knows the heart of a man. The consequences of Solomon's sin affected the kingdom of Israel, although God chose not to remove his kingdom out of respect for David. He faced threats from enemies such as Hadad and Jeroboam. The latter, a rebellious leader, divided the kingdom of Israel after Solomon's death, laying the foundations for later events in Israel's history. Solomon's story is rich in events. As in the legend of the wisdom of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, one of the lesser-known stories about Solomon involves an encounter with the famous Queen of Sheba. According to tradition, the queen heard of Solomon's remarkable wisdom and decided to visit him to test him with difficult riddles and puzzles. Upon arriving at Solomon's court, the Queen of Sheba presented him with a series of intricate riddles and intellectual challenges. However, Solomon answered them all with ease, demonstrating his unparalleled wisdom. Impressed by his intelligence and insight, the Queen of Sheba offered Solomon rich gifts and acknowledged his greatness. This story underscores Solomon's reputation as the wisest of all kings and highlights the admiration his wisdom aroused, attracting visitors from distant lands. The encounter with the Queen of Sheba is a fascinating episode that illustrates the legend of Solomon's wisdom, which spread beyond the borders of Israel. Solomon's story is rich in complexity and nuance, full of remarkable achievements, tragic misunderstandings, and questions that remain unanswered. His legacy endures, leaving an indelible mark on Israel's history and offering important lessons. We hope you've enjoyed this exploration of Solomon's life and reign. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We thank you for your attention and wish you the Lord's blessing.